In this video, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look of a new website I'm building for a church plant, and you'll probably pick up some church web design tips along the way. Hey, it's Jake with churchfront.com, an online resource for worship leaders and church creatives and folks who are really passionate about seeing their ministry flourish and their church grow. One of the most important aspects of modern day church ministry is our marketing and communications, and the most important piece of the puzzle is having a solid website. If you guys watched one of my latest videos, I mentioned that I'm going to be helping launch a church plant in a few weeks called Mission Lakewood. My friend Darvin is the lead pastor there, and I'm going to be the interim worship pastor, help get things off the ground. And before I even continue on this video, I want to know from you, if you're a worship leader watching this, do you also have responsibilities in the area of communications and other creative responsibility in your church? I know for me, since that's an area I'm just kind of naturally passionate about, even though I was hired to be a worship leader, the church had no communications or creative strategy, so I ended up taking on these roles myself. So I want to know if I'm alone in this, or if there's actually other worship leaders who kind of find themselves in the same boat, where you're not only a worship pastor, but maybe you're a creative and communications pastor as well. So one of the things I'm helping Mission Lakewood with is getting their church website up and running and ready for the launch. And I just wanted to show you, I was able to just spend a couple hours in Squarespace. I'm a huge advocate that church leaders use Squarespace to build their websites. WordPress is great. There's some great WordPress websites out there. But I've been building websites for about 5-6 years now, not only for churches, but also for small businesses. And I've also helped people transition into new websites and helped build new websites for folks. And there's most of the time, they're on an older WordPress site, and I help them move over to Squarespace. And I've never had a time where I've helped switch a client over to Squarespace and they'd be like, "Oh, I really miss WordPress. Bring me back to WordPress." No, because Squarespace is the simplest way to design a website. It is a web design tool for non-web designers. You don't need to know code. It already looks good with their templates. And in my opinion, Squarespace works great for 99.9999% of churches. If you're in the 0.0001% of churches, that's huge, and you have a full web development team on staff, then great. Do WordPress. You can have some more control. You can do some cool things with that. But I also think what's great about Squarespace is that it's so simple and designed so well, and it kind of limits control because of that. It's kind of like comparing Macs versus PC, right? People love Mac because it's simple, the design's great. PC, you have all the PC nerds who are like, "Ooh, I want to customize everything." That's great, but sometimes I think people try to customize, especially websites, too much to the detriment of the actual effectiveness of the site. And I really care about how effective a website is. So that's why when I set up a site with Squarespace, really for a church, I have one goal. I want this site to be for potential new visitors, and I want the goal to be them to plan a visit to come to the church on a Sunday morning. I don't care about anything else on the church website. That's all I want the church website to function for. And maybe, I do care about other things. We want it to be easy for people to stream sermons and maybe learn some other info. But really, again, this is kind of the greater assumption that you want your church website to help your church grow. If you don't want your church website to help your church grow, then design it however you want. Don't put any strategy into it. That's fine. And believe it or not, I think there are some leaders out there who really don't care about if new people come to their church. But if you want your church website to grow, you have to have an effective design and be really intentional about it. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to hop behind my computer and just kind of do a screen share. I'm going to walk through this very basic bare bones of a website that I have up and running for Mission Lakewood. And this is probably going to be changing on a daily basis. So it may look even very different from when this video is first released, but I want to bring you guys on that journey as we're preparing this website for this church, which is about to launch in January 28th in 2018. So let's hop behind the computer and I'll show you the website. All right, guys, welcome behind my computer, and I'll walk you through missionlakewood.com. You can actually visit that URL right now. Not sure if it's going to look the same as it does when I release this video, if you're watching this, days, weeks, or months down the road. But I think this will help give you some ideas of just how to lay out your website, your church website, so it's more effective and actually hopefully gets more people to your church. So the first thing, when you land on the homepage, I'm very intentional about how I set this up. The first important thing, and a lot of this, what I'm about to tell you, a lot of it I pull from Donald Miller. I got to give that guy credit. You may have heard of him as an author. He's just a really sharp guy, and now he's more in the business world, helping businesses do marketing and nonprofits as well. For nonprofits to function like churches, we have to communicate clearly. So go to storybrand.com. You can find a bunch of free resources from him. You can sign up for one of his workshops. I would highly recommend it. Listen to his podcast. You're going to learn a heck of a lot. That's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. It's not super original to me, but hopefully I can help apply that stuff to the church world for you. So when you land on the site, first thing is you want people to understand who you are and how you can help them within just a few seconds. So that's why I have this headline here: a new church in Lakewood, Colorado. So I don't have some, grandiose mission statement, some theological mission statement. People don't care about that stuff unless if they're already, in the Christian world and they like that Christianese stuff. Really, we just want the simple headline here for people to know, oh, okay, this is New Church in Lakewood, Colorado. And then, okay, how can this help me? And then I put discover a home for your family, bring questions and doubts, make an impact in your community. So it may sound generic, but these are kind of some values that this church has. And I wanted to translate that into how can this help someone who's potentially going to visit the site. There's a cool little explainer video that Darvin, the lead pastor, had made here about the church and kind of his vision for it. And then the other thing too, on when they land, after they know exactly who you are and how they can help them, you want to have a simple call to action. And for me, I recommend for church websites, plan a visit. Again, this is if you want to build a website to actually help the church grow and get people to visit your church, do it this way. If you don't want to help your church grow, then you can just ignore all the advice that I'm trying to give you here in this little video. We'll explore that page in a bit. Scrolling down, we want to introduce to people to who their guide is going to be, right? At a church, the guides are the pastoral staff. And right now, Darvin, he's the lead pastor, and we want people to really just associate a face with the church. We don't want them to just, branding is important. They got a cool logo and all that stuff, but I think it's more important to hey, let's associate with a face with this church, with this entity. So, meet our pastor. That's this little section here, tiny little bio of Darvin. This will probably change. And then times and location. So basic info. It's launching January 28th here in 2018. Sundays at 10 a.m., Green Mountain High School. Great. Then plan a visit, call to action again, and then a simple contact form on the homepage if they want to get a hold of Darvin to ask questions. And we want them to click that plan a visit button. And then we will tell them simple stuff: time, location. Say there's plenty of parking. You don't have to worry about that. Arrive a few minutes early. Get your kids checked in. Oh, speaking of kids, here's what you do when you bring your kids to church. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Really easy instructions. What to expect in worship, so people know what to expect. They like to know what to expect. And then finally, if you have any questions, just send them here. This again, I only put maybe 2 hours into putting this website together. One, just keep it really simple. We have the about section. This is where you put your more grandiose, more detailed stuff for people who want to learn more. So we put the vision statement, leadership. So right now they have lead pastor, family pastor, and then I'll probably put me up here soon, eventually. Beliefs, I just put the Nicene Creed, and then Darvin has some videos he made about the updating and the whole vision and stuff like that behind the church plant, so you can check out some of those. And then we have a page for read, so we're really just pushing a lot of traffic to the site, to some blog posts. We're very early in our phases of marketing and using Facebook ads and things like that, and we're trying to do it in a way that's not your typical way, hey, come visit our church. I think it's just a really easy way to waste a lot of money on Facebook. I think we want to be more strategic. We want to have people traffic our site with this value add content, blogs that can help them, hopefully get, here's 3 reasons why New Year's resolutions fail, or here's 10 things that your family can do in Christmas. And then from there, we can retarget those people with maybe more specific call to action Facebook ads, hey, come visit our church. And because they've already associated Mission Lakewood Church with these helpful things that we're sharing with them here. I'll talk more about that probably in some later videos. And then a give button. Want that to be easily accessible.
I am Shelby Giving Platform. These guys still feels like it's 2004 or something like that with their online giving platform. Hopefully Mission Lakewood will be on PushPay or Planning Center. I actually just Planning Center. I recommend Planning Center for everything you do in the church. They're not paying me to tell you that, but they're best. They're the best at it right now. They don't have really any legit competitors at this point for church management software. And I love Planning Center's interface because if you look at wellspringcolorado.com or something like that. Let me just Google their church. Wellspring Church. This is my friend Jeff's church. He built this website for Wellspring Anglican Church, and they use Planning Center. They use Squarespace Planning Center. Got the big old give button. I don't think you should put that there, Jeff. I think you should put like something like plan a visit here instead. But you press the give button, it brings them to their give page, give today, and then it brings up this cool little easy interface. And I like how Planning Center, you just immediately start with, hey, how much you want to give? Great. And then you give your email address, and it just makes it such a more streamlined process. Whereas like this, old school Shelby Giving platform, you have to like create an account and like, do all this stuff. Oh my gosh, it's just like a cringe looking at this form. Like if people are ready to give, like you just get the amount in there and you get their email address and credit card. That's all you need. Don't ask for all this other junk that you do not need for people to give, and that you can get that stuff later. Anyways, that's another kind of tangent I'm on, but I hope this kind of gives you some ideas of just like whole ideas, like the ways to make your website more effective. I would really be more concerned about user experience and keeping things simple than I would about like cool graphics and videos and all that stuff. Like sure, we'll get to the point where this will be a more mature website. Here's one I built for Deer Creek Church, another church I was an interim leader at. Pretty simple. There's even some things that I would change about this, but in the end, I'm not the pastoral lead of a church, the one leading the church, so I kind of worked with them and got to a place where we kind of agree on some common ground for some user experience stuff. But you can see at least like we have the plan a visit page, and on this church, like the plan a visit page is like one of the most trafficked pages, and that's good. We want people going to that page, and it kind of walks them through how to visit. A cool thing too about Squarespace, if you haven't used it before, it's so stinking simple. This is the web design software for non-web designers. So if you press the escape button here, what it does, it's going to bring you into, basically it's going to log you into the site. So I press escape. I was already logged, had my login credentials saved. So I'm in the back end of the site. I can explore pages here. I can move them around. And Squarespace is so cool. Like say if I wanted to change this to meet our rabbi, I just clicked on it and typed it in, and I just press save and it's done. We're not Jewish, so we're going to keep that as pastor. But it's stupid simple. And as I said, I've helped people switch from WordPress to Squarespace a lot, and they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I did this a long time ago. And I don't know, there's some of your WordPress lovers out there are going to hate me for this, but I don't know. I just really think, I think WordPress versus Squarespace is like PC versus Mac. Both of them get the job done, and I really think WordPress can do the job. But like, I think WordPress, people want total control. That's very unnecessary. Like Squarespace is a multi-million-dollar company, and they have people who are way better experts at you in web templates and web design, getting these things like started. Trust them with that, like they understand a lot of these user experience principles that I've been trying to explain to you in this video. And that's why their websites and their templates are a great place to start. Not all their templates are great. I recommend the ones that have like a hero banner here and a button on the top right. But just go with Squarespace. If you're going to do a new website design, use Squarespace. So I hope you guys found this walkthrough helpful. Now I'm going to go out from behind my computer. I hope you found this behind the scenes look at the Mission Lakewood Church website helpful, and that you have a few tips that you can take away and apply it to your own website. If you're in a place where you need a new website, maybe your current site is outdated, or you're a church planter and you're starting from scratch, I would love to chat with you and tell you all about the web design services that ChurchFront offers. Go to churchfrontwebdesign.com or click the link in the description below this video. There you'll be able to schedule a free consultation with me, and I'll tell you all about our web design services.
So go to churchfrontwebdesign.com or click that link below, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and that subscribe button, and also please share it with your other friends in ministry.